All right. I just want to touch on a topic that, I've been, you know, feeling about life in general, but we're going to talk about it, How many of us feel like, we're just wasting our lives, man? Like, it's insane, man. Like, you're not failing, but you're not completely lost. You're just, like, stuck going through motions. You wake up, you scroll on your phone, maybe go to work or school, talk to some people, you come home, and nothing feels like it matters. Nothing feels like, you got that constant feeling of, I want more out of life. And like you're not crashing, but you're not really living either. Like, and that shit starts to eat at you. Life is weird. No one teaches you exactly how to live it. School most certainly doesn't help you with anything. You grow up thinking everything will, make sense at, its respect at, at a certain age. Everything will just start to, make sense. Like you'll wake up and just get it. But I'm here to let you know right now, man, you won't. Some people chase money, some people chase love, some, distractions. You know, most of us are chasing something, we don't fully, really understand. And in the middle of chasing, we tend to start, drifting instead of like, you know, chasing, obviously. You know, not doing anything wrong, really, but wasting on time on shit that doesn't really grow us, you know. Hanging around people we've outgrown, staying in relationships we know aren't good for us, putting off everything important till tomorrow, like we've kind of limited tomorrows. I'm very guilty of this, I feel like I'm not where I need to be in my life. I'm 19. I'm not where I want to be, financially, relationship wise. I feel like, uh, you know, you have a lot of expectations. People in general, we have a lot of expectations to be successful, be good looking, you know, and they just have everything figured out and they have all the answers. And like I feel like I've been, wasted a big, great deal of my life on that, on all those specific topics, because I have never, I've never had a girlfriend, I've never loved, um, you know, uh, but we're gonna talk about, relationships and love for a second, dating. That shit can either make your life way better or completely mess you up, completely fuck with you. I've seen people throw away years on someone, who never really loved them. I've done it myself. Like I said, I've never really dated before, and you know, it just, staying when you should have walked. Like you should have walked away from that. Holding on because of what it used to be. You hold on to that illusion of who that person used to be, how they used to treat you, what they used to do. The truth is, some of us are just wasting time. We're wasting a life on some of these people, who just don't want to see us. And don't let love, the illusion of love, be the reason you forget who you are. Like for real, that shit will really fuck with you. But now we're gonna flip the side of the obsession with, success. Open your phone. You're gonna like open your phone, scroll on Instagram, TikTok. You know, you're gonna see a lot of successful people, and you're gonna see a lot of people that say, get rich or die trying. Build, grind, repeat. Things like that. And yeah, there's nothing wrong with wanting more out of life because I want more too. Obviously, I'm not where I want to be at all financially, but success comes when you build your whole identity. Not just you know been making or just having a stack of money. If you hit every goal, stack money, get you got your dream body, you get the car, you get the girl, but you're lonely, you're disconnected, and you can't look at yourself in the mirror. What's the point? Real success is peace, alignment, waking up and not dreading every day. I would say that's what success is. Um, Wasting your life doesn't always look like failure, It doesn't always look messy or dramatic. Sometimes it looks like, staying busy, doing the wrong things. You know, sometimes it looks like loving the wrong person, staying quiet when you should have spoke up. It's quiet but subtle. It weakens you, from the inside. But then you'll blink, and one day, you'll be older looking back, wondering what the fuck you were doing with your time, or the fuck time went and who you spent it with. Um, you don't have to fix your whole life in one night. That's the, misconception that a lot of people tend to, get wrong. Um, but be honest at where you're at. Like, you've got to ask yourself, and I ask myself this every time, and I'll answer these questions as I ask y'all them. Am I growing? Yes. Am I surrounded by love or just people? Yeah. Am I surviving or am I building something every day? I'm not gonna lie. Recently, I've just been surviving. Um, and any of those answers, or if any of those, questions, hurt you, that's good. It means you still care about, you and your future. Like you're still trying, which is good. Um, take a step forward toward a goal. Anything. Read a book, do something. To build yourself. I don't. As crazy as that sounds, to read a book in the big 25. Do something. But no, seriously though, just stop. Wasting your life pretending like you're happy with where you're at, because in reality, I'm not happy where I want to be at, but that's okay. We're all going through the motions, but then you also got to look back in the past and look at yourself in retrospect. Have you wasted your time in the past? Yes. But have I also done positive things in the past? Yes. You know, and you, the viewer watching this, you haven't wasted your time. Your time has not been wasted. We're all going through it. You know, life is, a hard thing. It is not something that should be taken lightly at all. But it's just how it is. It just goes. Life goes fast. It goes by way faster than we think. And none of us really know, or we don't really know how much time any of us have. So stop surrounding yourself with people that are judgy, or just not good people in general, and just start living for yourself, man. Start living. Stop surviving and just start living. Um, I appreciate you guys for watching this video. I'm not gonna be like the cheesy YouTube the the cheesy YouTuber that's like, comment, subscribe, you know, all that good stuff. What I will ask you though is that you just drop whatever you're thinking in the comments. Just whatever it is. It could be about anything. Just whatever you're thinking, drop it in the comments. But I will ask you one thing and another thing. Just tune into the next video. You don't have to subscribe. You don't have to like. Just tune into the next video. But I appreciate you guys for watching this though. Um, this is what you can expect from me. Just yapping videos pretty much with gameplay in the background. Um, but I appreciate you guys for watching. See you guys next one. I'm out.